So in the digital engagement campaign management user interface, I've got my dashboard here. I can see my existing active and current campaigns. I'm going to have a look at creating a brand new campaign and create this new campaign through the menu system. And I'm just going to walk you through some of the activity that you can see, just the basic structure of the campaign. We have a program, so we can collect campaigns inside a general program of campaigns. That could be done by month or by product, however you want to organize your campaign. I can define the name of the campaign and the output channel. So here's just some examples of the output channel being SMS, into email, secure messaging, the internet bank, etc. So each different output channel is made available to the marketer in here. I can describe it, and I can then give the priority of what this campaign needs to be. If it's a really high priority, I'd give it a 0.9, for instance. If it's a lower priority, I'd go all the way back down to 0.1, potentially, for how that can be utilized. So that's just some of the basics of the campaign. And then comes what's going to be the basis of the trigger of this campaign. And there's several means we can do that: the bank event or customer event. Here's just some examples of bank events that we get from the core banking system. Large credit. It could be a debit amount arrived. It could be a bill payment, for instance. So just several bank events that trigger a campaign to happen. And then we have a collection of customer events, things from completing a certain transaction in a chatbot through to, in the internet bank, the fact that they log in and the homepage is loaded, or potentially complete a certain transaction in that basis as well. And then we can define the target audience. And here, this is kind of really the decision point of who's going to get this campaign at any given point. So I can start to add a profile in, and there might be a predefined profile that we want to utilize that's already been saved in the system. I'm just going to have a look at if we were creating a brand new profile, and you can start to see the depth of how we can use outside information to drive key activities inside digital engagement. And within the attributes model here, we have just around 300 pre-written or pre-built into fields that we can interface into. So just by filtering down some of this information, we can start to see that I want to maybe look at customers who their maximum balance over the last 30 days is equal or potentially greater than a certain figure. So again, people who are keeping large balances on their account. And we can take information out of the core banking engine, out of the analytics engine, or other data sources from customer relationship management sources, or social integration. So we can take feeds in and use external data from Facebook or LinkedIn effectively as well. So just some examples of how we start to build that profile up within the account. And then this is where we start to define the planning and the output channel. So if I'm going to say this output channel is going to be an email, then I now get a channel available to me, and I can start to define details of how that email is going to look, who's it from, who's it going to, etc. And I can then create a free-form HTML email within here. But I can also start to add in fields from the system, so I can personalize that email with dear, first name, etc. Within that. And then I define the planning of its start date and end date. So that's the core features and elements behind a brand new campaign created in digital engagement.